So today I'm doing something different than what I typically do on the channel. Today's video is a gaming video on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite here. Let's go ahead and jump in and see how it handles all of that. Now, I actually want to emphasize one thing. This is not a gaming video specific to just one game, right? So this is just a gaming video playing different types of games, giving you kind of a glimpse of what it is like to play games on this tablet. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, starting off with PUBG Mobile here, and in this particular scene, there is a tiny bit, a very small amount of stuttering, just very tiny. But anyways, the overall game is pretty good, and you're gonna see that once we hit the floor there. And this part here, you can kind of see, if you really look closely, you see a little bit of stutter. And once we hit the ground running, or once we hit the ground, everything becomes pretty smooth. You can see the character running here. Again, I've been meaning to really test out this game for a while. Well, maybe not test out this game, just to kind of show how it plays on the Galaxy Tab S6. And as you can see here, just moving around, the camera kind of pans out or pans around pretty smoothly. You can play with the settings and be able to change and kind of make it as smooth as possible. We're going to take a quick look at the settings at one point. You can see that the action here is actually pretty nice. You can go around, obviously, and start shooting at the enemies here. And the shotgun here, this is always my favorite. It's kind of a one shot and they are down. And, you know, roaming around, if you've played PUBG Mobile, then you know that there's a lot of roaming around here. It's pretty smooth, you know, things, like I said, move pretty smoothly here. And this other scene here, I'm going after a different enemy, and again, see right there, one shot to the head and he's done. I hate to have started this video by shooting people, but anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and start off with PUBG Mobile because it's kind of a fan favorite. But as you see here in the settings, you can kind of change them. You know, if you could go all the way to HDR and keep the frame rate all the way at ultra, but it's not about putting them at the highest, right? Most people prefer to put it at like smooth and then have the frame rate pretty high so that they can have more of a smooth experience. So you can really get to do all of that. Oh, and if you do like the video so far and you'd like for me to make more videos like this type, go ahead and hit that like button. Depending on how well this video does, I'm probably going to go ahead and make another one. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome, of course. If you do like the content so far, I truly appreciate that. Now, please make sure to hit that subscribe button there. Again, very much appreciated. Let's go ahead and get back to this gaming session. Okay, next here, and I know I'm going pretty fast, I'm just flying through this, is Asphalt 9. And this is one of my favorite games. I generally prefer driving games or racing games, and this is one of my favorite. The graphics here, you know, it looks really nice, but every now and then you are going to notice a little bit of stutter. Nothing major in a way where it would, right there, you know, you saw that it kind of stuttered a little, but nothing really major where it affects the game, or, you know, nothing that occurs like every second. But every now and then you will notice that little bit of a lag or a little bit of a stutter, but otherwise it, you know, plays pretty well. It plays pretty well generally as we finish this first scene here. And when we go to the second scene, I don't remember that when I was playing this I had any stutter, but playing it here and you have that stereo sound, you know, the two speakers on the Tab S6 Lite here that are tuned by AKG, that sound really kind of have you immersed in this game, right? Any of the games that you're playing, it sounds very nice. And most games, as you're gonna get to see here, play pretty well. And I'm really measuring my words when I say most games. Not all games, you know, you couldn't play a Fortnite here. Well, actually you could, well, maybe you can't. It's just a no-go on this tablet. But anyways, you can see here it still goes, it still plays pretty well. If you pay close attention, you pay very close attention, you might notice some of those, you know, little stutter. But other than that, overall, very nice game here. Like I said, it's one of my favorite games to play on any tablet for that matter, whether it's on this one or on the Galaxy Tab S7 that I own. Okay, so we are going to jump onto the next game here, and this one is Injustice 2. Another game. I also like fighting games, and when it comes down to mobile games, you know, tablets or phones, I would like fighting games that are kind of like this style. I generally go for things like Street Fighter or, you know, King of Fighters and things like that. But this one also does play pretty well. Now, this is one of the few heavy games that don't necessarily show a lot of stutter. Things are pretty snappy, you know, when you hit. It's pretty instantaneous as far as hitting the button and having the action actually show on the screen there. So for those of you who are interested in this type of game, this would be how it plays on the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. Again, pretty smooth, very enjoyable gaming experience when it comes to this type of games. Now we are going to jump onto the next one, and this time I'm going back to another shooting game here. It's just probably one of my favorite games, and I want to start off with the settings, and you'll be able to see that you can play with the settings with the graphics at high and also have the frame rate at high. Now you have to keep in mind that, of course, if you want better performance, you need to bring that down. But in this particular case, I'm just going to test it out at high, and you'll be able to see what it looks like when you play with high graphic and also high frame rate. And like I've said in many of my review of the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, it is not a productivity tablet, right? So this just happens to be a mid-range tablet that you can use for light to moderate type of productivity, and you can also use it for light gaming. So this is not something that you would buy and expect it to perform. It performs very well, don't get me wrong, it performs very well when it comes down to like gaming and things like that, but you shouldn't expect this to perform as the Galaxy Tab S7 or the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, for example, would perform. So if you're just a regular Joe and you want a tablet to do other things and also happen to want to do some light or moderate gaming, this would be the tablet for it. So it also plays pretty well if you're into this type of games. And the other good thing is that if you happen to have a wireless controller, you can use that and play all of these games using that controller. In my case, for example, I usually use just my PlayStation 4 controller to play these games. And finally, the last game that I tested out here is Roblox. I personally didn't know this game until I got a couple of comments about it, so I figure I'll go ahead and download it. Again, I've never played it before, but I figure I'd just go ahead and test it out to let you know that it seems like it does play on this tablet. Now, loading time was just kind of crazy. It just kept loading, but so far it seems like it plays, as you can see here. So I figure I'll go ahead and drop that and add that as the last game that I tested on the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite here. So that was my gaming session on the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. I certainly hope that this was informative, that it gave you kind of a glimpse of what it is like playing video games on this tablet here. If you are in the market for something like this, at least now you have an idea of how well it plays certain games. Now go ahead and hit me up in the comment section with any questions you may have or any comments you may have. Would love to hear your thoughts on this type of video and what you think of this tablet. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, again, like I already said, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and as always, of course, stay safe out there.